Hi guys, what's up, what's down, what's sideways? James here for day 77 of chronic fatigue syndrome, my friend, my enemy, my constant companion. What am I going to talk about today? Bodybuilding! So, before you flick off and stop watching, I don't mean bodybuilding as, Arnie kind of bodybuilding. So in my school, bodybuilding just means to build one's body up. So this will include strengthening and mobility, improving our ambidexterity, coordination, balance, grip strength, like all of those kind of things, like things to build the body up. So I thought I'd talk about bodybuilding today. There's a lot that could be shared on it, but I'm just going to share some of the points that I come across quite a fair bit. So I've brought this up before. It has been my experience that even with CFS or fibromyalgia syndrome, CFS is chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME in some places, which is ME is a short for something. It's long. Anyway, so it is my experience that people with CFS and fibromyalgia syndrome can strengthen their bodies. Where that stops is kind of we have to take into consideration that we may not be able to strengthen it at the same rate over a calendar progression as someone who's better or who's well or normal. Okay, so when people see me do stuff, they go, "Oh, James, you're lucky you can do that," or "Oh, James, you're a special case," or just must have been God's gift. Rah, rah, rah. Everything that you can see me do today took me 20 plus years to build up to, and there have been some pretty cool highs, and there have been some really, really low lows. My lows have been higher than my highs, kind of thing. Like, there was a stage where I was like 3%, I can't remember the numbers, 3 to 5% body fat, no muscle, 1 meal a day. I was on my way out. And then only last year I had lost a lot of weight. I was weak. I was really weak. Like couldn't hold my weight up or something like that. So as I've shared before, is my personal experience with my body and others that those with chronic fatigue syndrome can build up their strength. They can improve their range of motion. They can do something. They can work on something. But it's always from where you are, not from where I am. So I can do a full push-up, but I can only do 10 before my strength gives out. Whereas someone who has CFS and is different to me might be able to do 20. And a normal person might be able to do 100. Okay? Or a normal person might not even be able to do 1. I know people who can't even do 1. They have trouble doing a squat. The whole, normal people are automatically physically stronger is just, no, if they don't do anything. Muscularly wise, chemically, yeah, we're screwed. Energetically, we start with an empty tank. We start using tomorrow's energy. We're using up tomorrow's energy today. So energetically, yeah, we are in the we're a bit behind. So I know I've just taken 4 minutes to share that. My thing about it is it can be done, but where people with chronic fatigue syndrome get caught up in is, and you will see this so often, today I decided to go for a run and I regret it. Everyone validate me by entering the comments how that one time you did that activity, now you regret it because you felt really bad afterwards and we shouldn't do it and it's just bad and rah rah rah. Validate me. Really, you did that thing that one time. That one time and you didn't expect any sort of consequences. Now, I empathize. It sucks. I know that experience. It sucks. You do something and then the next day, month, you're like, oh, why? You know the reason why? The reason why is if you plan on being alive in the next 5 or 10 years, and I sincerely hope that you do, why not have this in a better place? Why not have this a little bit more mobile, or a little bit more stronger, or a little bit more coordinated? Maybe you're bedridden right now, and it takes you 5 or 10 years for you to be able to roll out of bed and go for a nice lengthy walk. If you don't do something to get to that state, you will always remain in your current state. So there's a margin. There's a margin where if your body's unwell and it gets better, you will gain a different level of strength because it's working better. Rah, rah, rah. So suddenly you seem to have gotten stronger. Being well. So there is a margin there. Yeah, if you feel better, there'll be a small margin there where you will reach a new place. But that's not. You haven't really changed anything. You're just really bad here, and now you're just not as bad. And because of that margin, it seems like it's this different place. And even though it feels different, you haven't really moved outside of that barrier. Like, you're still here. If you want to move outside and become something more so that you're somewhere different in the next 5 or 10 years, you've got to do something different. You have to. So yeah, if you haven't done anything and then you went to the gym and you did a 10-minute walk on the treadmill and then you sat in the sauna and then the next day you were wiped, I'd imagine you would be. Besides, heat doesn't seem to agree with us. You've just added heat and trapped heat, and like me personally, that would total me. I avoid saunas and hot baths when my body temperature is askew. So the thing there of I went and exercised, I went for a jog, or I went and did a dance class, or I went and did a martial art class or something, and then I was wrecked. Everyone quick, validate this. Everyone hop in and jump on the bandwagon. How awful did you feel last time you did a thing? If you're in a support group, you've seen that. And you may even be a part of that. There really is a huge difference between sharing your experiences and trying to find a validation and not to keep trying. So if you had a horrible experience doing some sort of physical activity and you crashed, and I do this because crashing has a different implication for all of us. If you crash, yes, likely to happen. But, I lost my thread. Okay, so I didn't edit that out, and the reason being is I want to show you what it's like having chronic fatigue syndrome. The memory is fun. Anyway, so I'm going to kick myself when I rewatch this, if I rewatch it. Okay, so if you do something new and you crash, yeah, understandable, likely, okay? The whole thing of that one time determining your future responses is ridiculous. I will call you out on it. It is ridiculous. Okay? And that one time could be that one time that week, or you may have tried for 3 weeks, or you may have tried for 3 months. It's still one time. When you've got a chronic illness, when your body is attacking itself, it does not mean that, for the most part, it does not mean that, you have to give up on what you can do. You might not be able to go on a normal strength plan. You might not be able to go for that marathon that you used to run or you want to be able to run. You might not ever be able to go past walking up the stairs with confidence, but it's still more than if you did nothing. So for those people who decide to randomly do a random activity and crash and not do anything, you're kidding yourself. That is not what you base the rest of your life on. Now, if you do a planned program and crash, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't not continue. It doesn't mean that you should stop. It might just mean your body needs a period of adjustment. Or if it's not suitable for your body, it just means you need a different plan. I guess my whole 11 minutes of this video for those with chronic fatigue syndrome really is that it's doable. You just have to be patient. I most probably should have started with that. It's doable, guys. You just have to be patient. I was very emotive with this one. And maybe if it gets any interest, I'll redo it and structure it a bit better. But it's doable. Just have patience. Don't quit. 5 or 10 years, I hope that you're still on this planet. But in 5 or 10 years, I hope that you're better than you were 5 or 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I'm in some ways worse than I was 10 years ago. And at the same time, I can physically do things that I couldn't do 10 years ago. So it takes time and patience, but you can do it if you want to, if you choose to. Okay? You can do it if you want to and you choose to. Just have patience. Alright? Thank you for letting me share day 77 and bodybuilding and my little bit of a rant there. Sorry. Guys, we have to deal with so much. Don't give up. Okay? Never give in. Ever, ever, ever. This is where I'd quote Winston Churchill. So thank you very much for letting me share. If you've got any questions or comments or feedback, or you'd like to introduce yourself, do so below. Like, share, subscribe, hit the little notification button, and thank you very much for letting me share today.